Okay, honey, why don't you tell us what we're going to do next?
Well, we're gonna put some alfalfa seed in the food plot. In the past several years, we've done brassicas and radish and turnips, which seems to do pretty well. But those are annuals, and we have to replant them every year.
This
And
food plot isn't for us to hunt over. This is a food plot where we just feed the deer and we can view the deer and keeps them off the road a little bit. But just a way to use up part of the yard into a food plot. But we don't hunt this food plot.
yeah,
So saying it's a food plot, yeah, doesn't mean we're hunting here.
no, we don't hunt the food plot. This is something for the deer, just to feed them, give them extra nutrition. The farm fields here we rent out to a farmer, but
It's 26 acres that's been in alfalfa for the last bunch of 6-7 years, I think, 6 years anyway. And the new farmer we got is going to put in black beans.
and it's going to start out this year with
And
black
it's
beans.
all organic too.
See where it goes from there. Yep, but we're going with alfalfa here because in the climate we're in here, we're in the thumb of Michigan, and in this climate, we shouldn't have to replant for.
Hang on a minute, we gotta yell, Lucy, come here. Lucy. She's in the woods over there. Lucy, come on.
Come here, Lucy. There she comes.
Little brat. She's having too much fun out here today.
Good girl.
She usually stays by me, but she's just getting and exploring, sniffing.
So as I was saying there, we shouldn't have to replant for somewhere between 5 and 8 years, which should save us a lot of work in the spring here. Something we do is a labor of love, nothing else.
And we don't have to mow this part of the yard that way.
That's true. We have about 5 acres, we've got about 5 hours of mowing to get everything we have in the rest of the yard.
This is going across
trails and
the front yard. It's pretty far over there, and that's a lot of mowing behind us too.
So anything that I can do to cut down a little bit. We also have a 40-acre farm out in Gagetown that we take care of. I've got about a 5-acre area out there that we keep mowed up. That's where we have family events and campers and things like that. And so we got to keep that nice. And across the section here, my son's house, got another 5 acres of grass over there. Unfortunately, we seem to like lawn. So,
well, you are a lawn business in the thumb here.
Yes, I do.
In Cass City.
Business.
Yes.
But,
so he's trying to retire, but he's just getting tired. He's not retired yet.
Exactly.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hand seed it because you just feel like you're gonna get a good coverage that way.
Yeah, I'll make sure what my coverage is, and it just work a little bit easier.
We had the farmer offer to help us with this, but it's such a small plot. His tractor and everything would have done about 1.5 passes, and he didn't want to overlap.
Yeah,
That's what he told us.
Yeah, he told us that he'd come through, he'd make one pass, and then on a second pass, he'd be probably halfway into his first pass, and that probably wouldn't work too good for what he was fixing on doing. So this is the way I've always done it. I've always done it by hand.
And then how do you cover it? That's the interesting thing.
I've got a little 425 John Deere up there with a roller.
It's on the back of this trailer there.
And I've tilled the dirt up here 3 times now. The last time I did it was this morning. So as I pull the roller around, it'll carry a little bit of dirt in front of the roller, which will cover the seed nicely, and it'll give us a nice smooth area to walk on for the times we do walk out here. And It'll just make it nice for everybody concerned, and it'll look nice, and we won't have to do
And,
much to it. I've got to
and
mow it 3 times a year.
yeah, so he'll mow it
Keep it
and
healthy.
yeah, to keep it growing and healthy, and it's like you're farming it, but I guess we're not going to be baling it or any of that stuff. Although you could rake it up and or something, but
Yeah, as soon as we mow it, the deer will be out here going, "Oh, hey, this is good." So,
yeah.
and it's just we'll be leaving this on later into the year there, so it'll give the deer food until
Yeah, they should be able to eat
snow and
this through winter because if the beans will come off in what about September, October,
yeah,
somewhere in
thereabouts.
there,
Yep.
depending on the weather.
Yep. And then if we get a particular large amount of snow, I've got a 12-foot pusher on our backhoe that we use in the wintertime, and I can come out and back blade most of the snow off of the alfalfa, which will
Yeah, if we get a hard snow, then we don't
let the
have.
deer get to the alfalfa for grazing during the wintertime, and
We had out in
hopefully
the
they'll leave our shrubs alone.
yeah out in the field this past year. This past winter we had a fawn who had not made it through the winter, and that was kind of sad. But I saw quite a few that were hit by cars, but when they're just starving out here, you kind of feel bad. And with there not going to be anything on the fields out back, which you can see back there, part of the field.
I'm going to start spreading.
Let's see how he does when he spreads this stuff, because I'm betting it's going to go everywhere. And then the dog's going to help. Lucy likes to get in the way. This dirt is kind of nice in here. You're throwing some in the grass there when you go on your backhand.
Yeah, I'll probably have a little bit till I get where I want to be.
In some of the last pictures I showed, where the backhoe is sitting, there was a great big giant spruce tree. And then shortly thereafter, after we had been out here filming, we had a big windstorm and there were some sheer winds. It was quick. It came through quick and knocked over that big tree. And it was as big as this one, if not bigger. But we were lucky. It flipped over and the root ball came out. We were lucky it missed the pole barn. So, we can't get any better than that. Then he had to cut it up and get rid of it. Use the backhoe to haul some of the big pieces down to our. We've got a pile of wood chips and things from a friend of ours dumps wood chips. He has a business where he cuts down trees and grinds them up, and so he's been putting wood chips in a pile, and so then we'll have some good compost. And my husband there, he flips it over with the backhoe every year. I'm not sure. How often do you flip the compost pile? A year.
I do it once, twice a year.
Yeah. So twice if he's bored, I guess.
It makes really good compost.
Yeah, it does. It looks really nice. It's black, and so there's fall leaves. There's grass clippings and stuff. Boy, look at her go. She's just having a ball out here today. She whines if she doesn't get to come outside. If you come outside without her, or my husband was outside earlier and she just was having a fit. He didn't take her out.
up a little bit more here.
Yeah. So he's got this whole big thing here he's got to do up. It's going to take him a while. It's going to be a lot of walking.
Yep. I think I wore the wrong pants for today too. Got my lined jeans on.
He's got
That was probably a mistake.
or flannel lined jeans. Just a minute. Where's the dog? Okay, she's sitting in the shade behind us. You got to watch her. And the nice thing is these seeds are yellow and you can see them on the dirt. They show up real good. Let's get a close up here. See if you can see them there. Are these Roundup ready? Is that why?
No, these aren't. The only way I could get Roundup ready was to buy a whole bag that would do about 3 acres. This is about a half-acre food plot here, and the bag was $500, $550, something like that, which was a little bit more than we wanted to spend for this.
Yeah, and I'd rather keep it all organic anyway when you're feeding the animals.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something we took into consideration too. Since the farm is all organic, you know, there's no reason to introduce chemicals into this area, because they say that you need to keep everything 45 feet away from the fields, which we're way over 45 feet away, but you know,
I just noticed something. There's a pine tree that's tipped over right there.
Yep.
So it looks like we lost another one that your dad planted.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw that when I was tilling earlier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, darn. That means that one's gonna die too. It's still alive right now, but the roots tore up. So if the roots tore up, the main root will be damaged, and so that's not good. Wonder if we could walk over there and get a good look at that. Because losing these big trees is not, it makes you just want to cry. It's such a terrible, terrible thing to lose. We thought about putting corn down on that one end too, towards where the road is, because the road is, see the power lines there, the road runs right through there. It's elevated.
Get out of there. Lucy!
Lucy, come here!
Come!
Oh, she must have seen a rabbit.
Right here.
So.
She's obsessed with deer.
And rabbits too.
Lucy!
Oh, look at we've got some white violets in here. Look, they're white. Unlike the purple ones that are all over. So, yeah, it looks like there's something else that's got a root ball popped up in there. But it's not this one. Lucy, come here. What are you doing? And then you can't walk in here once the stuff starts growing. So I'm underneath this tipped over tree. I don't know if I want to be under it. This time of year, it's time to look for morels. Get over here. Come on.
This tree's broke.
It's broke. It's root ball. That's what I'm looking at. The root ball came up.
Did it? The root ball up in there?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. That looks like it was broke.
No, it's split. pretty open in here right now, but
Yeah.
a couple months we won't be able to even see in here. Trying to find a way to get over here without breaking my neck.
This might hang on for a while.
Yeah, this.
There's no way to stand it back up though. I mean,
No.
way too much tree there for that.
I'm just wondering, does it look like it's been like that for a while?
I don't think so.
Because it looks like the way it tipped over, the root ball's got a lot of debris on it.
From going all the way.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, yeah, it looks pretty chewed on. The deer, they were eating a lot of pine needles this year, as they were not able to find enough food, so they were chomping up the. But pretty soon this will be, like I said, no way to walk around in here. But the does they'll have their fawns, and they go from this side of the yard in here to the other side. Lucy, come on, come on, come on. Come on, follow Daddy. Come on, Lucy. There's even some grass growing in here. What's up with that? But there's some viney stuff in here too. A lot of vines. Those vines get so big and then they choke the trees. I like to get rid of them when I can. So the best way to do it is to chop them off where they go up into the trees. It's a lot of them that were growing up in here that were chopped up, cut from the ground, and then they die up in the tree. But if you leave them in the tree, they'll choke the tree, kill the tree. And this is autumn olive. It's got spikes on it. It's got thorn, that they'll catch you. They're sharp. These things. But what's funny about it is the deer love them. So you just got to control them. If they get growing too big or where you don't want them, you can come in with the backhoe or the little tractor and push them over. And this is from the rabbits girding the trees. They did this to a lot of the bushes. They did it to a lot of the sumac that the deer like to eat. Oh, there's a thing to talk about. Lucy, come on. There is something called poison sumac. And then there's the sumac that has red berries on it. And I'll see if I can get over here and show you. We have the sumac that's red. And apparently you can make a tea out of it, which is good to drink. It has medicinal properties. And don't quote me on this, but I think it's for your stomach. Look how nice and black this dirt is. So nice. So nice. Come on, Lucy. It's time to look for morels in Michigan, too. People have been finding black ones. And then in the next week or so, we should be able to see some white ones coming in. We love morels here. Been picking morels since I was a little kid. So these are sumac. They grow pretty big, and then you can see the bark is off them. These are pretty much dead. But they'll send up runners, and then what you get are send out runners. They'll grow bigger berries, and they'll be nice and young and tender. And the deer really like the berries. And then at the other house, on Door Road, where our son lives, they have done that. They eat the berries all year round, and they'll eat the branches, the tender young branches. And the rabbits girded the bottoms of them. So looks kind of funny when you look at them. So these are the red kind of berries I was talking about. So people think these are poison sumac, and this is not poison sumac. Lucy, come on. Lucy, come on. Sorry, I gotta get her away from the road. The road's up there. So anyway, the poison sumac looks totally different. It grows like a shrub, like your automatos will, but it has white berries on it, and that's a poison sumac that they talk about. So this is not poison sumac, and we like it because it makes good feed for the deer, and cover too. They'll hide in it. They can. We had a doe at the other house 8 years in a row. She had her fawns right there, and then they were going around the front yard. We had them where they would get up and run and follow mom. And they could barely run, so they weren't a couple hours old, I would say. You know, because the mom will have them, and then she'll leave them where she had them for a while till they dry out and get ready to go. That's going to happen next month in May. But our doe is here. Lucy, no. Lucy, come on. I'm going to have to put her in the house. She's having too much fun. Stinker. The other day she wanted to go outside so bad. I ran in the bathroom first, and she likes to leap around in circles in her excitement. And she leaped around in circles in the half bath and smashed her face into the side of the cupboard and hit one of the doorknobs. I'm surprised she didn't bend the doorknob. But it sure upset me because she smacked into it so hard. And she kept shaking her head. Ugh. I thought sure she broke some teeth, or you got the stuff from the blowing up in your face.
I know.
Okay. Keep your mouth closed then. So.
It's okay. You'll appreciate when I give you a kiss later.
Well, I think I will let this end right here. He's got about half done. And I'll let him finish this, and then we'll come out I'm gonna keep pulling weeds that I was doing, and I can get him to watch him roll when he's ready to roll it in, and you'll see how good that works. I mean, it's not a perfect way to do it, but we've been doing it this way for probably over a dozen years, and it works. We've only put this food plot in here the last 3 years?
3 or 4 years, yeah.
3 or 4, yeah. This might be the 4th year. So the first year we tried just turnips, I think. And then last year, our guy out at Wild John's, Jeff, he gave us an assortment of things. He just piled a bunch of stuff, so we had turnips and rye and radishes.
That was the first year we did.
No, that was last year.
No.
Yeah, that's what you told me last year. Anyway, so I guess we'll have an argument about that.
Okey-dokey.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit when we're rolling. Bye-bye.